Welcome back to the LPR Trading Group YouTube channel. It's Dave again. I've decided to put together a little 5-module section here on market profiles. We're going to be talking about the market profile side of the TPO chart. I want to throw credit to Jim Dalton. I read his book, Mind Over Markets. There's fantastic information in there. I'm going to say I got 98% of the stuff we're going to talk about out of Jim Dalton's book. I highly recommend you guys picking it up. I've just sort of condensed some of the information that I've learned into these modules. I know a lot of you guys are visual learners. You like the videos, you like to listen. So without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to start with the statistical bell curve. This is what a market profile is essentially. If we take a look at this little graphic right here, this will show us how price is organized over time. Imagine that this was flipped on its side, which we will look at in a second. This would give us an idea of where price spent the most time on a given day. Now we can see this is the largest part of the statistical bell curve here, which is called point of control. We will touch on that as well. This is where price spent the most time, okay? The green area right here represents the first standard deviation, which is a measurement based on this area in the middle here, which is the point of control. The total first standard deviation here is 68.2% of total time, okay? So 68.2% of total time was spent within this green area. If we look at the yellow area, which is the second standard deviation, 95% of total time on a given day or a market profile would have been spent within this yellow area, and that is the yellow area combined with the green area. So this whole area right here would be 95% of total traded time. We go to the third standard deviation and we have 99.7% of total traded time within the third standard deviation. Let's move forward here and I'll show you an actual market profile or TPO chart here. So this is a TPO chart, time price opportunity. The profile is on the left side, the TPO is on the left side. This is the volume profile. I'm going to make a whole nother set of modules where we'll talk about volume profile. We will touch on this a little bit in this module, but I do not want to dive into it too deep. We're going to focus up on the TPO market profile side of things. I'm going to go through all of the lines and markups that I have on my chart here just so you guys are familiar with it going forward. And we'll start off with the RTH high and low. This is the regular trading hours high, regular trading hours low. The high is represented by this green line, the low is represented by this purple line. So regular trading hours is 9:30 to 1700 Eastern Standard Time. That is New York time. If, as the market plays out from 9:30 to 1700, you take the high, you take the low, that's how you're going to get those values. RTH high, RTH low. 30-minute and 1-hour initial balances, okay? The initial balance is the first 30 minutes of the trading session, represented by this purple bar. The blue bar is the first 1 hour of the New York trading session. That's going to be the 1-hour initial balance. Open price and close price. Open price is represented by this green dotted line, and the A over here is actually an orange color for me, so I can see it a little bit easier. That is where price opened at 9:30. The close price is going to be this red arrow pointed to the left here. That's the price that the market closed at 1700. TVAH, TVAL, time value area high and time value area low. The reason why I put a T in front of this value area high and value area low is because I use a volume profile as well. I don't want to confuse value area high for volume with value area high for time. So I'll just call it time value area high versus your normal value area high on the volume side. The value area high and low, this is your first standard deviation. We talked about that on this slide here. Standard deviation number 1 is all of this green. 68.2% of total time spent between time value area low and time value area high, okay? You can see on my chart here, on my profile, all of the all of the white letters equal price within the value area high and low. This makes up 68.2% of total time traded on the day. As we exit the top of the value area high, the lettering goes gray. So these are letters that would be in the second and third standard deviations. For the value area, we're just worried about the first standard deviation, which is between 68 and 70%. These are the values that most traders use. Value area high and value area low, this is just on the volume profile side. Value area high, value area low, this is where 68.2% of volume was done on the day, one standard deviation from the volume point of control. Now we go into time point of control. This is going to be the tick value or price in the market that the most time was spent at, okay? Represented by the orange line. Volume point of control, same thing, but on the volume side. This will be the price that had the most volume done at it, represented by this yellow line. Halfback or 50% of the day's range. Halfback for short, that's going to be if you measured the regular trading hours high, the regular trading hours low, and you took 50% of it, that would be the halfback. That's represented by this little pink or purple A. Market profiles are a great way to define value in previous sessions that may impact your trading in future sessions. The market moves from balance, which is value, to imbalance, which is out of value, and back to balance. This is the natural ebb and flow of the market. Balance is where the market spends the most time. Imbalance is when the market aggressively moves directionally before it builds another balanced area or finds a previous balanced area to rebalance within. Move on to the next slide, where we're going to talk about segmented and split profiles, or segmented or split profiles. So you can split your profile into alphabetical periods. Each period represents 30 minutes of time. You can see this right here is segmented or split profiles, and this is our standard market profile where everything is squished together. At the start of the day, A period opens. A period represents the first 30 minutes of time, so from 9:30 to 10 o'clock, that is A period. Every period going forward also represents 30 minutes of time. B period would be 10 o'clock to 10:30. C period would be 10:30 to 11 o'clock, so on and so forth. Split profiles help to identify period sweeps, failed acceptance, poor highs, poor lows, which we will talk about in the future slides. Failed acceptance and period sweeps. If we look at D period here, we can see that E period swept D period, failed to accept price or pressure on the bid below D period, got back into D period, and we rallied to the upside. This is something that you want to look for when you're trading market profiles. J period. K period comes down, breaks below J period, fails to accept price lower below K period, and starts driving to the upside. This is actually a poor high. We haven't touched on it, but we will touch on it, and you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about here in Module 3, I believe. So I trade with both of these profiles open every day. I do like to see the actual market profile here. This makes it very easy for me to determine where value is, and I like to look at the split profiles for exactly the reason we just talked about: period sweeps, poor highs, poor lows, and failed acceptance in a given direction. We will go on to the next slide here and talk about composite profiles. To build a composite profile, you are merging or combining profiles from adjacent days that have overlapping value areas to build one larger profile. This helps to reduce the noise. Composite profiles are an easy way to reduce noise and organize your TPO in a balanced or two-way trade environment. We know that balance or two-way trade is when value in the market is going sideways. We know imbalance is when the market is moving directionally. So if we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and all of our value areas for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are overlapping or relatively in the same place, we can squish all of these profiles together to make one large 3-day profile to make it easier to see. This is exactly what we have here. This is your normal chart. Day 1, Monday. Day 2, Tuesday. Day 3, Wednesday. If we go back to the second slide that we looked at, we know we learned this is value area high by time, value area low, value area high, value area low, value area high, value area low, and the orange line is representing time point of control. Do you notice how the value areas are all overlapping? Most of the time for these past 3 days was spent right here. So what can we do? On Sierra chart, I can right click this period or this profile, select the option merge with prior profile. That will merge day 3 into day 2. Then I can take this day and merge this with day 1. Now I will have one profile, which you see right here on the composite side, that is 1, 2, 3 days merged together. Okay? You see how much easier this profile is to read now? Rather than trying to decipher the code between these 3 days, we have the exact same information, but we have a collective value area high, collective value area low, an adjusted point of control for where price was trading over the past 3 days, and lots of other information. Now how does price react here? Well, let's look at Thursday. We know this is open price, right? We know this is the open. We know this is value area by time. What does price do? We come back, we hold value area by time, drive up, and we start making or building new balance or new value up in this area outside of this range. Guys, thanks so much for tuning into Module 1. Stay tuned for Module 2. I'll try and record it tomorrow and get these things posted back to back to back to back so you guys have this full course or whatever you want to call it out this week. If you guys like what you see and you want to leave a comment below, please feel free. I'll get back to all of your comments. I really appreciate you guys liking, commenting, subscribing, and showing support to the channel. Stay safe on the chart. We'll talk soon. Cheers.